Good morning, everyone. This is Emily, and welcome to your daily 10 minutes of Cafe English. It is Saturday, May 9th.
And I am Lisa. Hi, everyone. Honestly, Saturday mornings are kind of my favorite for the news.
Oh, why is that?
On weekdays, I just scroll headlines for 2 seconds before running out the door. But on Saturday, I actually sit down and read the thing, like really read it.
That is so true. The news kind of deserves a full coffee, not a half one, and maybe a second cup depending on the story.
Right? And there was one story this past week that I cannot get out of my head. It was about Apple.
Funny you say that, because that is actually our first story today. Wait, seriously? Okay, perfect. So today we have 3. Topic 1 is Apple's record quarter and a huge stock buyback. Big numbers, I'm ready. Topic 2, Met Gala 2026, and Beyoncé came back to the carpet for the first time in a decade. A decade? Okay, I have so many questions already. And topic 3, a baby bald eagle in Pennsylvania who really made me smile this week.
Oh, ending soft. I love that. We have business, glamour, and feathers, basically.
Today's keyword is record.
Oh, that fits today perfectly. All 3 stories kind of touch a record in their own way, right?
Exactly. A business record, a fundraising record, and a quiet little record from a wildlife team.
If you're new here, we're 10-minute daily cafe chat. 3 stories every morning. No rush, no textbook.
Just the kind of English you'd actually use over coffee. Hit subscribe so the next chat is ready when your coffee is.
Thanks for being here. 3 stories, 1 Saturday morning. Let's start with Apple.
Big numbers. Here we go. So Apple just posted their best March quarter ever. Over $111 billion in 3 months. In 3 months? I cannot even picture that number. That is bigger than the GDP of a lot of countries. It really is. And on top of that, they approved another $100 billion stock buyback.
Wait, can you actually explain that one? I hear stock buyback on the news, but I have never had someone tell me what it really means.
Sure. The company uses its own cash to buy back its own shares from the market. Fewer shares out there, so each remaining share usually goes up in value.
So it's basically the company saying, we believe in ourselves, we'll buy our own stock.
Exactly. It's a vote of confidence with the wallet. That's a pretty bold move when the number is $100 billion, right? And Tim Cook said the quarter was driven by extraordinary demand for the iPhone 17 lineup. Honestly, every year people say, this is the year iPhone sales finally slow down, and every year Apple just laughs. Right? And the stock jumped about 3% the next day. I bet a lot of people who held on through the slower years are smiling this weekend. There's something kind of poetic about that, too. Patience paying off in a quiet way.
And the cash flow part is wild. Was it $28 billion in operating cash flow?
Over $28 billion, and that's just from this one quarter, not the whole year.
Okay, my brain is officially full of zeros. Like, I always think about Apple as phones in people's pockets, but the actual number behind that is hard to picture.
That's a good way to put it. Each phone is small, the total is enormous.
And the funny thing is, when you walk down the street, every other person is using one, so it kind of makes sense, even if the number is shocking.
Right, the shock is in the math, not the picture.
I love that line. The shock is in the math.
It's a good reminder that record is not just a word. Sometimes it's $111 billion 3 months.
Yeah, 1 quarter, and the whole rest of the year is already a story.
Moving on to our second story. The Met Gala happened on Monday, and Beyoncé walked the steps for the first time in 10 years.
10 years? What? She is basically the queen of red carpets. Why was she gone so long?
No one fully knows, but this year she came back. And not as a guest. She came back as a co-chair.
Okay, that is a different return. Co-chair means she helped run the night, right?
Right, alongside 3 other co-chairs, Nicole Kidman, Venus Williams, and Anna Wintour.
That lineup alone is already a movie. I would watch a documentary about just the planning meetings.
And the theme this year was costume art, with a dress code of fashion is art.
Wait, so the theme is the museum exhibit, and the dress code is what people on the carpet actually wear.
Exactly. 2 different layers, 1 big night.
That's a really useful distinction, actually. I always thought theme and dress code were the same thing.
A lot of people do. So now you have a tiny edge over your friends at the next watch party.
I'm so using that line tonight.
And here's the part I love. Beyoncé brought her daughter Blue Ivy. She's 14 and this was her Met Gala debut. 14 at the Met Gala. When I was 14, I was nervous about a school dance. She's on the steps with her mom in front of the entire fashion world. That's wild. That's a memory she'll carry her whole life, the kind that stays warm forever.
Honestly, that part hits me more than the dress did. A daughter walking that with her mom.
And the night raised a record $42 million for the museum.
$42 million in one evening? Okay, that's a record I can actually feel.
It's a really specific kind of record, too. The dresses get all the photos, but the money is what keeps the museum running.
Right, the carpet is the loud part, the donations are the quiet part. Both records on the same night.
Music, fashion, family, and a brand new fundraising number all in one Monday.
That's a lot of art for one Monday.
Okay, our last story is one of those ones that just makes your shoulders drop in a good way.
Oh, good. I am ready for cozy.
In Pennsylvania, there is a famous bald eagle nest on top of a steel plant, and they have a live camera on it.
Wait, a live camera on an eagle's nest? That alone I want to watch.
Right? People all over the world tune in. It's one of those slow, quiet little corners of the internet.
I love that there's a community of strangers all watching the same nest.
And a couple of weeks ago, viewers watching the camera saw something terrible. A baby eagle had swallowed a fish hook.
Oh no,
Like swallowed it from a fish the parents brought up? Exactly. The fish had a hook still attached. Someone watching the camera caught it almost right away and reported it. So a random viewer is the reason the story has a happy ending? Pretty much. Within hours, climbers got the eaglet down and a vet team was ready to operate. The vets must have been working against the clock. A 2-week-old eaglet is so tiny. The lead vet was Dr. Jesse Fallon at a wildlife center in West Virginia. The team removed the hooks surgically, about 12 hours from rescue to operation. 12 hours. That's incredible coordination. That little eaglet had a record any wildlife team would be proud of, right? And here's the part I really love. About 10 days later, the baby was back in the nest. The live camera caught the parents feeding all 3 babies again, like nothing ever happened. 3 babies? So it had siblings waiting? 2 older siblings, the whole family back together on camera. Oh, that's the kind of news I needed this Saturday. Same. Some stories you just want to keep on the tab open all morning. And honestly, the bald eagle is such an American symbol, so this story hits a little different. It really does. The national bird on a national problem, like fishing trash, saved by a bunch of strangers and one very steady vet. That little bird and a giant team of humans all moving for one fishhook. I love that. Okay, that was today. 3 very different speeds all somehow on the same morning.
Honestly, today's 3 stories had completely different feelings. A giant business record, a glamorous comeback, and a baby bird. And somehow they all fit.
Today's keyword was record, the highest, biggest, or most impressive something has ever been.
And today we got 3 flavors of it: a money record, a fundraising record, and a quiet recovery record.
You can use record for personal stuff too, like, I just hit my own record on this hike, or that is a record for the slowest morning I have ever had.
I think that is a record for the most coffee I've had this week is going to be my next sentence.
That is so on brand.
Okay, your turn.
We want to keep bringing you stories you actually love, so we have a small request.
Of today's 3, which one did you most want to send to a friend? Like, hey, listen to this.
Option A, Apple's record quarter.
Option B, Beyonce's Met Gala return.
Option C,
The baby bald eagle's homecoming. Drop A, B, or C in the comments. Any language is totally fine, and even just an emoji works.
I'll go first today. For me, it's C. Honestly, I needed that eagle story this week. Sometimes the news that helps you breathe is the most important kind.
Aw, that's so you. Okay, I'm going B. I have so many friends who would love to dissect Beyonce's outfit with me. That's the kind of news that turns into a 30-minute call.
And A is huge if you're into business. 111 billion in one quarter is a story by itself.
True. There's something for everyone today.
If you enjoyed this chat, please hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell so we can show up in your morning every day.
Whatever your Saturday looks like, hope it has a little record of its own, a personal one.
And if you see any baby anything today, give it an extra second of love.
See you tomorrow, friends!
See you tomorrow!